Up next, he is the co-founder of the Smuggleverse and a 30-year media producer, director, editor, and did 13 years as a C-suite cannabis executive. Up next, the president and co-founder of Digipath Labs, Mr. Todd, the Golden Voice Denkin.
And the crowd goes wild. Thank you for that. And, speaking of sensational headlines, that's my story today. And honestly, the story's headline is a little more interesting than the whole article. So, cannabis smuggling lands Gucci model and strip club server in a UK prison. And this is from SF Gate. The United Kingdom's cannabis smuggling problem just got a little weird. In January, authorities at London's Heathrow Airport added extra security checks for travelers coming from Los Angeles due to an increase in travelers bringing cannabis from California. But the smuggling hasn't stopped. In fact, the pot couriers are coming from multiple airports and appear to be using unsuspecting young people as drug mules. Authorities have arrested more than 25 U.S. nationals and convicted 8 people on drug charges since the start of the year, according to the UK's National Crime Agency. According to Vice News, the cannabis couriers traveled from not only Los Angeles, but also Las Vegas. Good to be represented. Washington, Washington, D.C., Chicago, New York, Atlanta, and Toronto. British authorities say that this type of unsophisticated pot smuggling is unusual, with smugglers attempting to walk through UK customs checkpoints with more than 100 pounds of cannabis stuffed in a suitcase. What are they thinking, first of all, right? The cannabis is vacuum sealed. Right. At least they keep it vacuum sealed, but not otherwise hidden, according to some photos released by the agency. Dozens of American states have legalized either recreational or medical marijuana, but cannabis remains illegal in the United Kingdom. UK courts have given sentences between 8 and 32 months for people convicted in connection with this string of cannabis smuggling attempts. The majority of people in this latest wave appear to be young people of color who claim they had no idea what was in their bags. Not sure that's a good enough defense. The list includes a 23-year-old male model who's worked for brands like Gucci and Montclair, and a 29-year-old strip club server from Texas. A 33-year-old from the United States who was arrested after flying to London from San Francisco told police that he was unaware that he was carrying drugs. He said that he was given 2 locked suitcases filled with cannabis by a man in Burbank, California. Jason, where were you? Then he was told to go to a nearby coffee shop where another man gave him $5,000 in cash to purchase flights. A UK judge called the man's story an elaborate tale and then gave him a 2-year prison sentence, according to the BBC.
Wow.
Right. An attorney for the 29-year-old server at the Texas strip club, I'm not sure why they have to say at a Texas strip club, but they do, told the UK courts that the woman only took the drug smuggling opportunity because she was naive and she was desperate. She lost her job, and she still needed to support her 3 children. This recent surge in cannabis smuggling is likely driven by Americans' legalization of marijuana. Cannabis reform has dropped the price of pot in the United States from as high as $4,000 a pound back in 2016 to right now under $1,000 a pound in California, and in Michigan as low as $550 a pound. But cannabis remains expensive in the United Kingdom, making it attractive to pot smugglers. California cannabis sells for about $28 a gram in the United Kingdom, making it worth a lot more money in the UK than in California. NCA Heathrow branch commander Andy Noyes said in a press release that anyone who brings cannabis into the United Kingdom is at risk of prosecution, even if they are unaware it's in their luggage. Couriers are often recruited with promise of payment or free holidays, Noyes said. But in reality, these attempts just end in jail sentences. I urge anyone considering smuggling cannabis in the UK, whether from the US or elsewhere, to think twice. It isn't worth the risk and will probably end up in a jail sentence. I'm Todd Denkin with High at Nine News. What do you guys think?